I was very fortunate. Many people write a book and, never get published or they don't hear back. But I sent it to a publisher that specializes in LGBTQ literature. They accepted the book, and as I said, the book came out at the end of August.
You remember the band Queen, right?
Of course.
Of course. Because I take requests on this show. People will say, hey, can you play? It started when a woman contacted me in the middle of a field in France. And she said, I'm in the field and I see these beautiful wheat is blowing and it's golden. And I see you singing this song by Sting called Fields of Gold. And I had never played it. I said, okay, I'll learn it for you. And then I learned it and I sent it to a volunteer and they were like, oh man, you should play that. I said, when? Tomorrow. I said, I just learned it 2 seconds ago. I said, no. The same cold love, I just can't handle it, this thing cold love, I must get around it, are you ready, crazy little thing called love. With these ICE raids and other things, listen, if you're not here legally, I understand, you may not be able to stay here. I got that, that's fine. But some of the ways that things are being rolled out are, I think, destructive. And they don't bring us together. They split us apart. Well, it reminds me of what they did down where they finally took that stand at Stonewall. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Stonewall is where everyone should acknowledge that stance, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, that's the same problem with immigration because they never point the finger at where they should be, and that is the billionaires who bring immigrants in illegally and undocumented on purpose to use them as slave labor or to use them as workers that don't have rights. This thing they call love, it cries in a cradle all night, it swings, it jives, it shakes all over like jellyfish. I hear like it, crazy little thing called love. And they do it in the prisons because I've had people who come out of prison and want me to know because I'm Jazz for Peace. Hey, they're making people work for 46 cents an hour in there that would be, that should be getting, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Those are the ones taking our jobs, actually. It seems like everyone's misdirecting you, trying to get you to go over there and maybe even go ahead and dislike that person wrongly so that you don't see what we're doing over here.
Absolutely.
It's a big smoke screen.
Absolutely. Miscommunication and misinformation.
There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gets me high to cold fever. She keeps me in a cuckoo sweat. I gotta be cool, relax. I get a hit. Take a back seat, hitchhike, take a long ride on my motorbike till I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. There's so many scenes where he's going to piano bars and dance clubs and things that are true places. People always say write what you know, and so I chose to write a book that has a lot of autobiographical elements. The bottom line is it affected my music in a very positive way, in my opinion, because I'm trying to put a little bit more of a spin on jazz. I believe that jazz is not for 1% of the populace. It just isn't. It was never meant to be. I knew Dizzy Gillespie personally. I was an opening act and MC for him when I was 19 years old. And he told me, we didn't make this for a bunch of elites. That was not our intention. And I play, which I'm going to do for you, I play piano bar songs and turn them into jazz. And people who didn't even know they liked jazz all of a sudden know that they like it. And people who like jazz are like, well, wait, I didn't think I would like, but I like that. So, I'm trying to find middle ground here and do that. But I think we need to do it in the world of love. And if you could just tell our audience that penguin story, I thought it was fascinating. Well, I was saying that there's famous photo of a penguin, and the caption is that it's a little story. It says that the one penguin who's a male had just lost his mate who was a male, and he saw a woman, a female penguin that lost her mate, and he goes over and he kind of like snuggles up against her to kind of like comfort her, because there are themes in love and resilience and hope that transcend, everything, species, people, whatever it is. There is this sort of like undying spirit that we all have, that we want to survive and we want to thrive. And so I always love that, because I feel like, here's two kind of living things that probably don't have much in common other than their grief, and how when we come together we can share our experiences with others that can hopefully help them through it. That's the whole purpose of me writing When the Road Narrows.
Well, how do you feel about what's been happening, where things are headed these days? Relax, get hip, get on my tracks, take a backseat, hitchhike, take a long ride on my motorbike until we're ready. Crazy little thing called love. Crazy little thing called love. Crazy little thing
Wow, that was terrific. That was great.
Thank you so much. I
Oh my
appreciate it.
gosh. Wonderful, wonderful.